Hello and welcome to WatchMojo.com. Today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 moments this iconic online reality game has given us through its first 8 seasons.
And pull the trigger, make a move, and I need to do this move for Chloe, for Peyton, and for Jerry. So with that, I'm so sorry, Dylan, that I have to put you up next to Corey.
These moments could be any that made us gasp, cringe, or laugh so hard that salt became an element. Number 10. Salt. For this first moment on our list, we're looking back to Season 4, Dead Men Walking. Typically, in the first week of 1984, house guests would vote on who would become the first head of household of the season. This season, however, featured returnees, so production chose to do away with this competition and had house guests compete in categories instead. House guests were told to write down a word based on a specific topic. House guests had to try to correctly answer the prompt without matching answers with another house guest. After a few rounds, it came down to Drew, Kendall, and Lamar. House guests were instructed to write down an element on the periodic table. Happy that she thought she had a great answer, Kendall wrote down salt. To her dismay, salt is not on the periodic table. As Lamar wrote H2O, he was also incorrect. Drew, answering potassium, became the first HOH of the season. Kendall's facial expressions and the memories this moment has brought to the 1984 alumni is what has landed Kendall a spot on this list.
Salt and H2O are not elements.
Number 9. Keatons Coming Out. Season 6 of 1984 featured all returnee players who had stuck out in their original seasons. Keaton Peterson was a contestant on Season 1 of 1984 where he finished in 4th place, earning him a spot on this All-Stars season. Throughout the first half of Season 6, Keaton wasn't positioned very well in the game. Once jury started, he found himself on the bottom and on the block. Prepared to leave the game, Keaton felt comfortable to share a very personal fact with his fellow house guests on his way out.
And talking to one of my friends, I've realized that I'm pansexual, simply put. And I told myself that when I left this game, no matter how many people were left, no matter when it was, I wanted to tell this house because I want to show at the end of the day, I do respect you all as people. And I want you to know that I want to show in some way that I can. I feel like this is one of the only ways I could be able to do that.
Keaton's bravery and willingness to share such a personal moment with the 1984 family is what has landed him at number 9 on this list.
And
welcome to the team, Keaton. We're happy to have you.
Number 8. Hashtag sorry about your birthday. In Season 3 of 1984, house guests voted on who they wanted to be the first HOH of the season. House guests selected Brian Hammock, known in this series by the name X. X promised safety to many of the people who agreed to vote for him to become the first HOH. As a twist in the season, X had to choose a duo partner, and then each partnership chose the next duo. House guests would be nominated as duos, and one of the partners would be evicted at the end of the week. At the nomination ceremony, X nominated Jennifer and Brian. At the POV competition, X claimed another win. House guests believed that he would leave the nominations the same, as to not ruffle any feathers. However, that was not the style of game X wanted to play with.
Hashtag sorry about your birthday. I'm putting up Julian and Nikita.
Knowing it was his fellow house guest's birthday, X proclaimed hashtag sorry about your birthday and nominated said house guest, Julian, and his partner Nikita as replacement nominees. Julian was subsequently evicted the next day.
Julian, you have been evicted from 1984.
Bye, guys.
Number 7. JJ, you should have ate that sandwich. Back to Season 4, in Week 6, Caleb had won head of household. He nominated Jack and Nick W. for eviction. Due to a twist, Lamar, JJ, and Lauren had to compete in a competition where one would win immunity, one would receive a punishment, and one would be an automatic nominee for eviction. Lauren won safety, and Lamar became an automatic nominee. JJ received the punishment, meaning he would have to eat a nasty sandwich made of Pop-Tarts, cheese, and mustard. If he was unable to do the task, he would lose his vote for the week. If he became a nominee, he would have a penalty vote against him. JJ proclaimed openly that he was unwilling to do the punishment. Caleb, knowing JJ was a threat to the future of his game, used this as ammunition to turn some of JJ's allies against him and nominated JJ.
So with that being said, JJ, you should have ate that sandwich. You're on the block.
JJ was then evicted later that week. Number 6. Rizzo Vs Bryce. In Season 5 of 1984, Bryce, Cindy, and Rizzo had created a Final 3 alliance called the Final Tribal Council. Kevin won the HOH competition and nominated Cindy and Bryce. When Rizzo won the power of veto, the Final Tribal Council alliance knew they would easily be able to sit in the Final 4. Rizzo used the power of veto on Cindy, and Xander went up in her place. At the eviction, everyone expected a 2-0 vote for Xander to go home.
I have the vote. And we have a tie.
Wow. Okay, I might as well just leave.
However, when the vote tied, Bryce knew that Rizzo had betrayed him. In the tiebreaker vote, Kevin sent Bryce to the jury.
And I genuinely think the game was going to be won by either of us. And so with that, I am sorry, Bryce, but I have to evict you.
The shocked look on everyone's faces, as well as the questionable decision made by Rizzo, is what lands this moment as number 6 on our list.
I am still shook. Like, I was happier with Rizzo winning that veto than if I had won it myself, to be fully honest with you.
Number 5. Everyone versus Devon. In Season 7, Lights Out, the game became heated when 2 power players in Devon and Kennedy had different ideas on where the game should go moving forward. At the final 7, Allie, a wild card that season, had won HOH.
And with that, congratulations, Allie. You are the new head of household.
Yay!
Congrats, Allie.
Congrats, Allie.
Thank you. I finally won something.
She nominated Garrett and Zach for eviction, who had both been openly against her. When Zach's final 2 of Kennedy won the power of veto, it was clear that nominations were bound to change. Kennedy had rounded the troops and pushed hard for Devon to be the replacement nominee. Devon and Allie had been on the same side of the game for a long time, despite Devon playing both sides. Less than an hour before the eviction, Kennedy, Zach, and Allie went on a call where Kennedy pushed her agenda. After a few minutes, more house guests began getting added to the call until the entire cast, minus Devon, were pressuring Allie to nominate him. When the POV ceremony began, the fight continued right until the moment Allie named her replacement nominee.
Did you try to say that you have not lied?
It's a Big Brother game. It's a Big Brother game. You've
so
got
then how can you be like, well, you lied, honey? You did too. Don't act like you didn't.
As the other 2 options had kept quiet during the fight, Allie nominated Devon for eviction. He was later evicted by a vote of 3-1.
Honestly, everyone has tried to manipulate me this round, it seems, except for like Josh and Austin. They're the only ones who've been actually like calm and stuff. So like, you know what? I kind of want the chaos. Let's put up Garrett and Devon against each other.
Number 4. Sebastian's Blindside and Jack's live vote. In Season 1, Keaton had won head of household at the final 8. He nominated Josh and Sarah. Sarah was a very young contestant who had caused a lot of chaos based on many blatant lies she had told to the house guests regarding her age, occupation, and other personal and game facts.
I feel my game is going pretty good because I have a lot of alliances and I'm gonna blindside a lot of people in the house.
When Josh won the power of veto and took himself down, Keaton needed a replacement nominee. Sebastian volunteered to be nominated as a favor, assuming he would stay against Sarah. Prior to the eviction, Sam, Jarrett, Josh, and Lee came up with a plan to vote out Sebastian, knowing Sarah could be taken out at any time. Keaton, Sebastian, and another house guest, Jack, were left out of the plan. Come eviction night, Jack was forced to cast his eviction vote publicly as part of a twist from the power of veto competition.
So, I'm going to be completely honest with all of you. My vote is very straightforward tonight. Sarah, you are a lying bitch. Oh my god, Dad, really? Why not?
Jack, who despised Sarah, began casting his vote for her using many expletives when his father walked into the room. Jack expressed, "I love my parents," and then publicly called out Sarah for many of her lies and casted his vote.
We still don't know if she's actually a human. Like, I think we've gone past the point where we don't know that. But my vote is very publicly for Sarah. Everyone's known it the whole week. Sarah, you're a lying bitch ass whore. Please grow up. You're not gonna get a medical degree. Goodbye.
To the surprise of the HOH, public voter, and Sebastian, the votes of Sam, Lee, Josh, and Jarrett, as well as Jarrett's extra vote, were enough to blindside the others and send Sebastian out the door.
By a vote of 5-1, Sebastian, you have been evicted from 1984.
I expected that. Yeah, I expected that.
This being the first big blindside of the series, and Jack's father interrupting him yelling at Sarah, is what earns this moment number 4 on the list. Number 3, Nikita's face reveal. In Season 3, The Golden Age, a very controversial house guest was on the cast. Their name was Nikita NJ. They had also gone by the name of Ninjon, Kelsey, and Joda Lee on other platforms. Nikita prefers to wear a mask or scarves to cover their face while playing online games. Due to this, Nikita sat out of some competitions during the season in which it may have caused them to show their face. Nikita was a major character on the season and won many competitions in the late game, getting themselves to the final 2, where they chose Bria to sit next to them. Throughout the season, everyone wondered if they'd ever get to see what Nikita's face looked like. To everyone's surprise, Nikita unmasked at the finale during their final speech, finally revealing their face to the org world.
And no one thought Nikita would do a face reveal. But this entire game, I feel like I have been subverting expectations from the beginning. Socially, I feel like every single one of you knows who Nikita NJ is. I was a good friend to every person. I really did try to be.
Despite this face reveal, Nikita still chooses to cover their face in games they play today. But the shock value of this moment is what lands it at number 3 on this list. Number 2, Zach's birthday. Throughout the 8th season of 1984, rumors circulated that house guests Zach, Rachel, and Brian were in a Final 3 alliance. The 3 of them had been in many chats together, and the rumors were true. However, after Brian's HOH target not going home due to many actions by Zach and Rachel, Brian wanted revenge. When Beth won head of household, Brian and his side alliance of Constance, Caleb, and Austin came up with a plan to take Rachel out. Beth nominated Julia and Thomas for eviction. During the Power Veto competition, many house guests took game-changing punishments in order to try to win the veto. Jacob gave up 3 head of household competitions, winning him the Power of Veto, which he used to save Julia. Beth then took the shot and nominated Rachel. Jacob, who was originally in on the plan to take out Rachel, backed out of voting her out. This put Brian in a tough spot as he wanted Rachel out of the game, but didn't want the blood on his hands. The eviction fell on the night of Zach's birthday.
Happy birthday, Zach.
Happy birthday, Zach.
Happy birthday, Zach. Yes, happy birthday.
At the eviction, the vote tied and Beth sent Rachel home.
This is very difficult, and please don't hate me, but I will be voting to evict Rachel tonight.
This sparked a large fight where Zach declared that he was a free agent.
Y'all, I'm a free agent now. You can't really say I'm with Rachel anymore. So I'd love to see where if the same energy that was brought to me and Rachel the entire game is going to those people that Rachel just called out. Not that I'm going to call y'all out on it, but I just hope that the same energy that was brought to us all game is brought to y'all, because it was a bit, to quote Sandy, it was a bit caca.
Zach fought with a good majority of the house guests, including Brian, throughout the ceremony. Beth tried saying, "Happy birthday, Zach," to break the tension. Zach's birthday then continued into a circle night competition, where Zach was voted out first, followed by 2 house guests who also tried to save Rachel. The 3 of them then managed to turn the week around and get Jacob evicted, rather than one of the 3 of them. The entire ceremony, as well as the way Zach and his new allies of Julia and Madison managed to stay safe the following week, is what lands Zach's birthday as number 2 on this list.
Well, happy birthday,
That's not
Zach.
what your vote said.
We're about to reveal our number 1 pick, but first, here are some honorable mentions.
You've just done
And
it.
Zach,
Yeah.
Zach, you hurt my fucking feelings, because when you were on the block last week, you came to me so upset because you were like, I think I'm going to go home. They're going to evict me over Josh. And I said to you that even if all of the votes were going on you, I would give you a vote because I felt that bad for you. And I felt like we connected. This week, where the fuck were you?
Congratulations to Tawny, Cindy, and Xander. You three are our new power of 3 by a vote 7-2. Tawny, you have been evicted from 1984.
You promise I'm not gonna get fucked?
You're good.
And with that, at 5 hours, 44 minutes, and 42 seconds, Zach.
Oh.
Hey, please.
What?
Please let me rant something.
But it would be iconic to go from on the block. Oh.
Congratulations! You are the best. Luke has voted for. Congratulations, Billy. You are the winner of 1984 4.5.
Number 1. Dispelling Rumors. In Season 4, Dead Men Walking, there were many rumors of a whodunit alliance of JJ, Megan, Jack, and Billy. JJ was the host of a whodunit org that Megan, Jack, and Billy had recently played before the season. Billy and Megan were a showmance as well as the winner and the killer, respectively, of the season. Billy even told Megan to apply to 1984. When these four all appeared on the season together, they were quickly looped in as a possible alliance to look out for. JJ had recently been evicted, but everyone still looked at Megan and Billy as a pair. Going into jury, Megan wanted to squash all of those rumors and play her own game. Megan nominated the house target, Julian, as well as Jack for eviction. Jack then won the power of veto. Assuming he'd use it, Megan went to him and told him that she had plans and to trust her. Jack assumed she'd be nominating Nick W., who had caused drama earlier that week. At the power veto ceremony, to the shock of the whole house, Jack used the power veto on Julian instead of himself, assuming Julian wouldn't survive the block while he could.
And honestly, I'm not here for it. If you are going to lie, lie to my face and don't go behind other people's back.
How was it a lie if it was confirmed by other people?
I am going to use the power of veto to save Julian.
Megan then pulled off the biggest blindside in 1984 history when she nominated Billy, whom everyone believed she had a final two with, for eviction.
Most recently, there have been a lot of rumors about specifically Nick W., saying that Nick is coming after me, saying that Nick thinks I'm a huge social threat, along with a couple other people, when I believe that Nick was on my side. So that's one of the big rumors that's been going around. Another rumor that has gone around a little bit earlier in the game is that there was or is or has been a whodunit alliance. And so, I've decided this week that with my final nominations, I'm going to dispel that rumor. So, Billy, go ahead and get up on the block there with Jack.
This caused a big argument where Billy swore he'd come for Megan if he managed to stay. Unfortunately for Billy, Megan's ducks were all in a row, and he was sent packing on eviction night, becoming the first member of the jury for his second time in this series. The shock of Jack using the veto on the other nominee, followed by the big betrayal of Billy by Megan, as well as the now coined Dispelling Rumors quote, is what gets Megan the number one most iconic moment in 1984 history.
I want to throw up, really. But if this game, I'm not that person to be angry at someone for doing best for the game. So if
It is a million% game because I know that you're coming after me. I know that there's other people in this house that you value more in this game, and I know that you can win comps. It's purely.
Hell yeah! Now there is, and if I stay here, your ass is grass. Okay. I promise you.
You won't though, but okay.
Do you agree with our list? What is your favorite moment in 1984 history? Leave it in the comments below, and stay tuned for opportunities to play 1984 in the future.